Alright, so this is going to be a video response to Terror for Tom. I don't know how I found this dude, but he's like my kindred spirit when it comes to cheesiness, cheapness, low budget shit from long decades ago. Yeah, so I want to contrast this dude with some of these poser youngin' dudes who they just go to their shelf and they like pull out the spine. Halloween. This is Halloween. This is Halloween 25th edition. This is Halloween Blu-ray. This is Halloween 2. This is Halloween 3. This is Halloween 4, 5, 6. Rob Zombie. I didn't like Rob Zombie. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, wait a minute. And this goes on for like 20 minutes, and I'm thinking, why am I even subscribing to this friggin' channel when I could be subscribing to Terror for Tom? Anyways, it's like he's sitting on the floor with his Vans, and he's got his wedding ring on, and his kid pops out. I mean, this is a lot more entertaining than friggin' pointing your tripod or whatever the fuck camera you're using and to the spines of your friggin' DVDs on your shelf, and then going after one out of 30 different versions of Halloween, or one out of 100 different versions of friggin' Evil Dead, or one out of 30 different versions of Friday the 13th. I mean, classic horror. When I saw that Hatchet DVD, I pulled it out and it said old school horror. I was thinking, what the hell? I mean, 80s horror, mainstream horror is not old school horror. When I think of classic horror, I think of the Universal Monsters, the Bela Lugosi, you know. Oh, my son is talking to me through the through the heater. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Anyway, I'm thinking of the Bela Lugosi's. Who else? My brain is fried. I just got off work. You know, Werewolf, Frankenstein, Mummy, Night of the Opera, John Carradine. You know, who else? It was an Amazing Dr. X. My mind drew a blank. Or the dude who played the detective, Basil Rathbone. Yeah, the famous detective. What's his name? Man, I just drew a blank there. But yeah, I loved all those movies growing up as a kid. I mean, I had them on VHS tape, laser disc. My stepdad had a bunch of laser discs, those classic movies. And so when these guys say this is a horror classic, I'm thinking bullshit. I mean, I wasn't born yesterday, or I didn't. I wasn't like born all by myself, and I didn't learn things like a friggin' communist black slate. I mean, all of this stuff is part of history, and just to ignore the 30s horror is totally ignorant. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me not to have one 1930s horror movie in your friggin' collection. I mean, come on, give me a break. At least have Dracula in there, for Pete's sake, or Frankenstein, or the Wolfman. You know, those are part of history as far as I'm concerned. You just don't dismiss them like, oh, I got to have every single edition of Night of the Living Dead. Whatever, dude. You think a horror movie has to have gore in it? You can't use your imagination? Shit. This is becoming more like a rant rather than a response video, but this dude, Terror for Tom, is like breath of fresh air. I mean, go read a friggin' horror book of your favorite horror writer. What's his name? The guy who did Christine, a movie that I absolutely hated when I was a teenager, making those rumbling noises, boom, 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 boom. That really doesn't scare me. I'd rather see a cheesy black and white horror movie from 1950s, if you know what I mean, with Basil Rathbone, Bela Lugosi, and all the great horror stars, John Carradine. Yeah, that's the kind of movie. Who was the Tor? Who's the guy in Plan 9 from Outer Space? His name is Tor, the wrestler dude with the bald head. Yeah, I'd rather see him in a horror flick. But that's just me. I gotta have that cheese factor. I guess I'm an old dude. I'm 42 years old. So that shit's funny to me. I mean, I gotta have some so bad that it's good type videos. And that's where Terror for Tom comes in. He did a video that was the best that I've ever seen. I mean, it's got Horrors of Spider Island. What other video do you see Horrors of Spider Island other than Something Weird video? Yeah, so that was cool. I wasn't expecting that from Terror for Tom. Plus, he's got a cool poster collection. Shit, I used to collect movie posters at the Antique and Collectible Show here in San Mateo, my hometown. Not my hometown, but my the place where I live. It's kind of in between Stanford and San Francisco, if you know where that is. I'm drinking my chamomile tea from Hong Kong. I'm pretty psyched. So sorry guys, to my new subscribers that I haven't been doing vids lately. I don't need to apologize because you'll probably watch them a year from now anyways. But I've been watching all 10 discs of Battlestar Galactica, the first season from 1978. The one that got canceled due to stagflation of the 70s, Jimmy Carter and all that. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm almost done with disc 8. I think the next movie that I'm going to see is a 1930 flick that predated Batman and sort of gave Bob Kane the inspiration for Batman. It's called The Bat Whisperers, 1930 black and white flick. I'm renting it from Netflix. So I was pretty surprised to see Terror for Tom comment on there that Netflix is coming up with some pretty obscure stuff. Sometimes they have it, sometimes it's on my save queue, and I gotta wait for it because it's like out of print or nobody knows about it, nobody cares about it, or maybe it's just too popular and it's too slow to get it up on my Netflix queue. I've got 515 DVDs on there right now, so it's mostly stuff from the Psychotronic Video Guide. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's a pretty thick book. I bought this in, I don't know, 98 at Streetlight Records. Here it is. I guess I can show it, right? Psychotronic Video Guide. So I got through the A's. It's pretty thick. And I'm on the B's. That's why I'm watching Battlestar Galactica right now. The show that I loved when I was a kid. I watched it with the whole family on Saturday night or whenever it ran. Prime time television, as they say nowadays. But I think my aunt was cooking tacos one day when I was watching Battlestar Galactica. She was in the kitchen and all the rest of us were watching it on television, which is cool. I still dig that TV show, by the way. It's got the cheese factor, like I mentioned before. So good stuff. Check it out. Later's Terror for Tom. I just wanted to give you a shout out, if you know what I'm saying. Later's, dude.